Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. A volcano in the Philippines has begun spewing lava as authorities warn that a hazardous eruption is possible within hours or days. In this extraordinary time-lapse video, you can see plumes of ash and steam rising from Taal volcano. The column of ash reportedly rose as high as 15 kilometers into the sky, forcing the cancellation of 172 flights in and out of Manila's international airport on Sunday. The volcano's activity has triggered the mass evacuation of 8,000 people from the area. Lightning only added to the drama for people filming the Philippines' second most active volcano. Situated on an island in the middle of a lake, it is one of the world's smallest volcanoes and has recorded at least 34 eruptions in the past 450 years. Drone footage showed a thick layer of ash covering buildings, roads and trees in Batangas province. Authorities in the province have declared a state of calamity, signifying a major disruption. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said he will seek justice for those killed on board a Ukrainian passenger plane downed by Iran. Photographs of the dead stood on the stage where mourners had placed rose petals and candles. Mr. Trudeau spoke in Edmonton, Alberta at a vigil for the 57 Canadians killed in the disaster. He promised to pursue answers from Iran, which admitted its military shot down the plane in error, killing all 176 people on board.
We will continue to work with our partners to ensure that a full, transparent investigation is conducted. We will not rest until there are answers. We will not rest until there is justice.
Iran has responded to criticism that they illegally arrested the British ambassador in Tehran by saying he was interfering with internal matters. Rob McCare says he was paying his respect to those who died in the crash of the Ukrainian airliner, which was accidentally shot down by the Iranian military last week. In a tweet, he said, "Thanks for the many goodwill messages. Can I confirm I wasn't taking part in any demonstrations? Went to an event advertised as a vigil for victims of the PS 752 tragedy. Normal to want to pay respects. Some of the victims were British. I left after 5 minutes when some started chanting." Detained half an hour after leaving the area, arresting diplomats is of course illegal in all countries. However, the Iranian government has another version of events. This action of the British ambassador was totally unprofessional and unacceptable, and by summoning him to the Foreign Ministry, we have communicated our protest to the ambassador and the government of the UK. The UK has a very unpleasant report card on interfering in Iranian internal matters. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the Turkish Foreign Minister have met in Moscow ahead of peace talks between Libya's warring rival leaders. The Turkish Defence Minister and his Russian counterpart were also among the delegates at the roundtable talks. The Libya talks come after a ceasefire in the country initiated by Turkey and Russia, which saw a lull in heavy fighting and airstrikes on Sunday, although both factions accused each other of violating the truce as skirmishes continued around the capital Tripoli. The Labour Party here in the UK have nominated a shortlist of 5 MPs in the race to be the leader of the party. Sir Keir Starmer is the front-runner to take the top job, with Jess Phillips, Lisa Nandy, Rebecca Long-Bailey and Emily Thornberry also meeting the threshold needed to get onto the ballot paper. However, Clive Lewis failed to get the necessary support of 22 MPs and MEPs. Jeremy Corbyn's successor will be announced on the 4th of April. He is standing down after Labour lost its 4th general election in a row last month. And finally, a man has been rescued after surviving more than 3 weeks in the Alaskan wilderness with little food and shelter. State authorities rescued 30-year-old Tyson Steele after a fire destroyed his remote cabin. He lived on canned foods that survived the blaze and made a basic tent out of debris in the sub-zero temperatures. Authorities only found Mr. Steele after concerned family members asked them to check on him. He had written an SOS message in the snow by the remains of his house. And that's your international news around the world in 5.